BUA321. This is the Business Finance course at the undergraduate program at Thomas More College. I'd like to talk a little bit about the course, some administrative details. Essentially, this course is an examination of corporate financial management. We'll be talking about principles, theories, techniques, discussing topics such as risk and return, valuation, financing. Many in-depth current event types of topics will also be discussed. The basic outline for the course is we're going to talk about an introduction to corporate decision making. We'll look at risk and return. We're going to talk about bonds, capital budgeting, stock valuation, short-term financial management, long-term financing, a variety of different topics. The basic objectives of the course: have an understanding of the basic principles of corporate finance, have an understanding of the valuation of assets, understand a little bit about analyzing a company, discussing risk return and some trade-offs for investor value and corporate value. Talk about how companies gather money. So we'll talk about financing, dividends, and we'll also talk some of the basics of short-term financial management. The basic outcomes: through discussion in class, we're going to analyze some data from real corporations. There'll be online quizzes and homework. There will be also offline research opportunities for students to gather some real data and provide some analysis on their findings. There will also be some offline homework opportunities. These are additional things that may be assigned as the content warrants throughout the course. Basic materials we need. The textbook is the Gitman and Zutter 2012 Principles of Managerial Finance. The course, the textbook, should also come with a a card for Pearson, referred to as the Pearson MyLab and Mastering software package. A laptop is required for the class time. Not necessarily a laptop, but certainly some form of electronic device. You will be given notes for the courses, so you can take notes via the laptop. But we'll also be doing, in most chapters, there are problem-solving tasks that we'll be looking at, and there'll be an Excel spreadsheet that you'll download for that class, and we'll use that to help solve and answer some questions about some company issues. The textbook should look like this. This is the card, the My Finance Lab card. And then this is the textbook, Principles of Managerial Finance. For class activities, you should expect to spend 16 to 20 hours per week completing the assignments for this course. The Canvas system is going to help guide you through those materials. Again, the activities are going to be quizzes and exams, individual assignments. There'll be discussion forums. The quiz is an exam. Each chapter is going to have a multiple choice quiz. They're timed. At the completion of the quiz, you'll be apprised of their grade, so you'll immediately know what you received performance-wise on that grade. You also may be asked to complete 2 comprehensive exams. The midterm, if it happens, would be the 4th week of the class, and the final would be the last week of the class. For these exams, you will be provided a list of potential questions. So you can prepare for those questions any way you'd like to prepare. You can prepare for those questions for those exams. The individual assignments, again, most of the chapters are going to have a set of homework assignments that are directed through the Canvas LMS system. These actually connect directly to the My Finance Lab course. There are some discussion forum articles / videos Again, you'll be assigned an article or a video to watch, and then you will provide via discussion forum some responses and replies to those articles. So there'll be questions posed, and you will submit discussion forum solutions and questions or answers to those questions. For attendance, basically attendance works this way. You're allowed to miss 10% of the classes. For the TAP program, this means you can only miss one class. If you miss a class, there's a 20-point penalty to the grade for the course, to the attendance grade for the course. If you're not prepared for class, if you're called on to answer and you and participation is not up to par, there could be a 5-point penalty for lack of preparation. So the total number of course points is 20 points times the number of classes that attendance is taken. There are 80 points for participation. Remember that a maximum of 10% of class meet. That means you can only miss one. Every class that you miss beyond one, for any reason, will result in a letter grade penalty as well as the 20-point penalty above for missing the class. Attendance is assumed to be physical attendance. Quizzes are 40%, individual assignments 40%, the group projects, this is actually mistyped here, that should be referred to the discussion questions, are 10%, the attendance and participation are 10%. If you need to communicate with the instructor, you can always do so through the business department's administrative assistant at that phone number. Certainly the Thomas More email system works. The Canvas email system works. If you are working in the MyLab portion, there are also there's references if you get into trouble to ask the instructor. The instructor gets an email with your problem, with your question, and then together we can decide how to figure out the issue. In addition, virtual meetings or chats are always available. We can set up a time when that's convenient for both myself or the instructor and the student. Again, course preparation. What do you need to do for this class? The first thing you need to do is make sure you have the right materials. There's a discussion question. It says, do I have the right materials for class? If you look at the home page of the course, scroll down to about the middle. There are two pictures. There are also the pictures that were in this video a little earlier. If you don't have those, you need to contact eCampus immediately. I've included their email address. Send them a document. Make sure you tell them what class you're in, what section you're in. Also, CC me on the email so I know that we're looking and trying to solve some problems. Once you have all the materials, you also need to subscribe to the My Finance Lab. There's a video that talks about how to register for this class. If you have that blue card, you have everything you need to sign up for this course. I would then review the pre-assignment. This work has to begin as soon as possible. So start working on getting ready for the first class. There is a discussion forum on course introduction. Essentially, this is where I would like to know a little bit more about you. So tell me about your current employment situation. I'd like to know what it is you think you'd like to get from this class. And then eventually, I guess, what do you think you would, what you will get from your journey here at Thomas More? I would then obviously read the assignments and get ready for the module. Those are the ones that are identified in the modules so that we can participate and take, get on the ground run in the very first class. It's your responsibility to be adequately prepared for the class, right? You're in charge of that, not me, nobody else. You need to be prepared. So how would I prepare? If I needed to a strategy. I would watch the videos for each chapter. While I'm watching those videos, I would have the PowerPoint open. They're both provided for each chapter. I would take that and take notes, write down things, questions that you might have. I would then go back and read the chapter. I find reading the chapter after the videos makes the reading a little bit easier to get through, and also it gives you a picture where maybe you might be able to find the questions that you have that you listed for the video PowerPoint. Again, come to class with electronic versions of the master study guides. The Excel spreadsheet should be downloaded. Again, you can take notes any way you want, but we're going to be using these electronic devices to solve problems in class, so it might be beneficial to be able to take notes, or to take notes actually on your electronic device. Again, students are going to be called on for discussion, right? They might be called on randomly. Obviously, unprepared students, or students that have difficulty with the discussion points, right, may be discounted from their participation grade if there's no preparation or no evidence that the student is prepared for class.